recently said you're not running again. Let's start the conversation there.
Yes. Well, I decided that I'm not going to run in the next election. It'll likely be in 2025, which will make 30 years since I was first elected. I was first elected in 1995 as a city councillor in Saint Boniface-Saint Vital, that way. Before, I ran for mayor and I came in second, so I was away for almost 2.5 years. I came back in 2007 and I was a councillor again till 2014. I realized I really wanted to lean in to Indigenous issues, infrastructure issues, the environment, and I realized the federal government is the place to do that.
Back then, we were just starting the conversation of reconciliation, a whole different picture. Let's talk about some of the what you've seen at the federal level in 10 years.
I saw a huge change. I remember in 2014, Aboriginal missing inquiry. Are we going to have one? Are we not going to have one? Stephen Harper said it's not on his radar, not a priority. We committed to have one right away. Very proud of the work we've done. We've literally invested billions of dollars in housing, in education, in health care all over this vast country. I'm really proud of our Crown Indigenous tables that we've had for a long time. Where we sit down with Inuit leadership, with Métis leadership, with First Nation leadership, with the many cabinet ministers and the Prime Minister once a year, Indigenous Governor General, Indigenous Supreme Court Judge. We've done some really good things. It's not perfect, a lot of work to do.
You were on City Council. Just talk about your time there at City Council and the things you've seen there and that changed while you were there.
In those days, early on, municipalities didn't really invest in Indigenous issues. It was seen as more of a federal thing or a provincial initiative. And we were able to work with our administration, with Mayor Glenn Murray at the time, to put an Aboriginal youth strategy together where we knew that we were going to need a lot more workers in the next 20 years. And Indigenous young people were the fastest growing demographic.
And you worked at Mama Way, so you were even working in community. Let's talk about some of your service within the Indigenous community.
I was a youth worker in '86. My job was to meet and become a big brother type of work with young Indigenous people. Spend time with them, group activities, but also one-on-one time. We used to go to boxing clubs a lot, actually, because I was a former boxer. When I boxed, I had some success. I traveled to different parts of North America with other people. And I realized I didn't know anything about how the world operated. I didn't know anything about politics. I quit at 25 years old, almost instinctively. I just said, that's enough for me, I'm going to get hurt. And I focused on getting a real job at Mama Way. I'm glad they were there for me.
Is that kind of where your political career started?
I actually got awakened during the Aboriginal Justice Inquiry in Manitoba here. And Murray Sinclair was a co-commissioner with Alvin Hamilton, and it just looked deeply at the racism inside the Winnipeg Police Service, the Manitoba justice system, and it was really eye-opening. And it was on TV every day. I remember watching it every day. I went back to school after that for 4 years. I got a social work degree, and I went back to Mama Way, and I worked as a Zosanon foster care worker. And I'm giving you a very long story, very short here. I did run, and I got 10 good people to help me, and we knocked on a lot of doors. We did some fundraising. We did a lot of fun stuff, and I ended up winning. I wasn't supposed to win, but I did, and that was in 1995. I've had about 9 elections. I've won 8. I lost the mayoralty election in 2004. I never did get a rematch. I think I could have won the rematch, but it was a good experience. It was fun.
It was also back in a time when, again, Indigenous people weren't seen as, in our community, we've always known we're leaders.
Yeah.
But in the mainstream Canada, like Winnipeg almost wasn't ready for it yet.
Oh, this was way before the Commission on Truth and Reconciliation, and things had to change. Slowly they have. I think we've made progress. Again, it'll never be perfect, but there's been progress made, and I think we're on a long journey of reconciliation.
Since we're talking about racism, as a Métis man yourself growing up in this city, you must have experienced your own.
I come from a Métis background where it was not very popular to be Métis. In fact, you would get intimidated and violence upon you, and you get killed sometimes. That whole Métis history, where our people started on that side of the river in Saint Boniface along the Red River and were slowly dispersed to Saskatchewan, Batoche, all the way up to Northwest Territories.
You've also done time on different boards and stuff before you were minister. You were on APTN's board.
I was APTN for, 5 years, and that was a great experience. Broadcasting, communications, arts, culture is so powerful, and if we're to improve lives of our people, that's going to be one of the main ways we do it, by telling our own stories. History would have been different if APTN was around 150 years ago.
Métis people know how to do the Red River Jig. You gonna do that for me?
No, I'm not much of a jigger, and I don't have the right shoes, and there's carpet. So next time.
Yes, thank you so much for today.
Yes. Thank you.